We're in the midnight oil. Tuesday night, coming up on 10:15. 540's clean. It had gotten really dirty somehow. I think it must have sat out at the sublet when they did the Vanos work. But it's clean again. My back's screaming, so I'm out of here in a couple of minutes. But look at this, Imola Red on the lift. It's got an engine in it. The engine runs. This is the one that blew up the main cat bearing months ago. He supplied an engine. Engine needed work. Heads had to go out twice. They're back, and then it's just been chasing problems for the last, 10 hours. Scavenge pumps were broken. One of them, the casing separated from the pump. The O-rings were wrong and collapsed, and he told us to do this kind of on a tight budget, so we didn't mess with that. He's got a muffler delete, looks like this, and it's doing what you'd expect it to. Needs a plenum, but before the plenum can go on, we've got a coolant leak in the valley from the water and oil heat exchanger, so that's going to have to come open tomorrow. We were instructed not to reseal that, so now we get to do it with the engine in the car, which costs more. Monaco is still here. It's running well, finally, without misfire codes. Both ionic modules failed at the exact same time, so after replacing those, we're back in business. I've got a bit of a driveline wear, which I'm upset about. I think it's got to be the drive shaft center support bearing. We've done the front wheel bearings. The transmission's new, and we've already replaced the throwout bearing, and it wasn't that. So we got to figure out what to do there. Then we've got a M5 Touring in here. Pretty cool car. It's mechanically converted, still has a 540 interior, but it's here to have the engine retimed because customer states it's out of time. This thing's been tying up a lift for 2 weeks. Calipers had to go out to Pennsylvania to get refinished because my guy here is not doing efficient work anymore. And the owner of this car is a friend in Pennsylvania who refinished his calipers. So they went out in late June. They took 8 days to get to Pennsylvania. Then there was a holiday. They took about a week to refinish and rebuild them. Now they're on their way back. It's another 5 days back to California. So we should see those on Thursday. At which point, obviously, we'll get the brakes on. We can get the wheels on. Wheels and tires are already done. New tires, freshly refinished wheels. Pork chops went in today. So just need wheels on it so we can get it off the lift and do the rest of the work scope that requires the front doors to be fully open, like repairing the seat twist on both seats. A couple new things in here. We got a swamp cooler. It is so freaking hot in here. It's not really air conditioning. It's the next best thing that won't jack up the electric bill 8,000%. So we'll see how that works tomorrow. We got rid of this table over here so the M5 can move all the way up for during the week storage. That gives Alan more space on that lift, more room for pushing the cart around, less risk of damaging a car. That also means the 540 can sit in here and not have to move 5 times during the day or stick halfway out in the sun and just totally cook it now that it's pretty. Then we had some X5 work earlier today that you saw, kind of filling in. There's no such thing as free time, but trying to make this thing a bit more drivable and livable. Yesterday, the PDR guy was here. There's one really nasty down here, so we had him pull that out real quick. Door handle. It's a typical problem for the E53s. Issue is the carrier fails. So door panel's off. I was appalled to see the condition of the vapor barrier when I got the panel off. It was torn significantly in many areas. It was duct taped on, and the duct tape was just falling off, and some of it landed on the ground as I pulled the panel off. Not even close to sealing. So that's all been cleaned up. All the butyl tape's gone. Isn't that fun? Takes like an hour to pick all that off and then clean off the residue. Got the carrier out. There's some good videos on YouTube on how to do that. Thank God, because TIS didn't make much sense. Carrier was replaced 2 years ago, according to the service records. They charged him full retail genuine price and put in a Euro brand part, absolute bottom of the barrel. I wouldn't touch a Euro brand part with a 10-foot pole. So we've got a genuine BMW part coming tomorrow. We'll get the carrier in there, reinstall the exterior handle. We're doing the interior door handle as well. This thing has illuminated interior handles. I can't believe it. 01 must have been part of the premium package, but the bulb for that is dead, and you can't replace just the bulb. You have to buy a whole stretch of harness and then splice it in. So that's on the way. New interior handle. I would replace these yellow things. They're slightly washed out, but they're $10 each, and there's 4 of them. I'm not spending $40 on plastic for this car. My dad went through it today. I know it's dark out here, but nice detail inside and out, full vacuum. Took the trunk apart, just cleaned everything up. We got some back to black on these trims, which look a lot better. Door trims, all that. He cleaned the wheels, dressed the tires. Just kind of the normal stuff you do when you buy a used car. Roundell's coming tomorrow. That one looked like shit, so we had to replace that. Engine air filter today. Engine bay cleanup / detail, polished out the headlights, which I had never really done before. It doesn't work, it won't last, they don't look anywhere near as good as new, but these to replace with new would be over $3,000, so that's not going to happen. They are polished and look about 90% better. I'll have to get some clear coat for them. But like I said, engine and cabin air filters, just no one had ever cleaned this engine bay, so it was disgusting. And you know, for 45 minutes and a half a bottle of Simple Green, you can go in there and make it look presentable again. Packaged up the MID, that's on its way to our sublet to get the pixels fixed. It's low OBC, so we don't have to worry about the cluster pixels, but the MID was pretty much not legible. So thankfully I know the interface well enough to get through it, but my dad doesn't. Cars galore, 2 more along the side, another one at a sublet. Of course, mine's coming out. We're getting close on a lot of these things, but holy crap, it's a lot of work. I gotta get out of here. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Talk to you then.